Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's right. Christie Sides is no longer the coach for the Indiana Fever. There were many people that didn't like hearing that Christie Sides was potentially on the chopping block and other coaches might be coming in. I totally understand that sentiment, but let's just dive into the announcement as we have received it this morning. And
because there is just this firestorm of attention with the Indiana Fever, and because you have like the number one marketable player in the WNBA on your team.
This group, I told him in there, it's like it's been a privilege to coach them. You know, that I am so thankful that I get to ride with them because they're resilient, like they're tough-minded. They remind me of those teams in Indiana. Just, you know, you look on paper and you might not think that, you know, they're...
The Indiana Fever has just made a surprising change that has caught many people off guard. Perhaps in hindsight, it was a possibility we should have anticipated. Following a season filled with intensity and uncertainty, Christie Sides has been dismissed from her role as head coach.
Left shoulder. Austin had her 11th double-double of the season, and Clark.
This significant decision raises questions about the future direction of the team. You heard that right. And guess who might be the most thrilled about this news? Caitlin Clark. This bold decision could signal a fresh start for the Fever, unlocking Clark's full potential and steering the team toward the championship they've been chasing for years.
Man, it's incredible. It's incredible for us to, have clinched early, use this opportunity to, work on some things over these next 6 games, continue to grow. But just, for the fans that have just been showing up night in and night out, on the road too.
But what exactly led to this unexpected change? How do we arrive at such a dramatic situation? Today, we will explore the events that played out both on the basketball court and beyond, and what these developments might mean for the future of the Indiana Fever. Join us as we discuss the triumphs and setbacks of Sides' coaching experience, analyze Caitlin Clark's reactions to these unfolding events, and consider what lies ahead for the team. Keep watching, because things are about to become very captivating. Before we jump in, please remember to hit the like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to our channel for more exciting basketball updates and insights. When Christie Sides was appointed as the head coach, there was a sense of hope surrounding the Indiana Fever. Fans were excited and believed this was the start of a new era. The front office thought that Sides could lead the team back to success and make them strong competitors once again. It seemed like a great decision, offering the team a fresh start with a coach who had new ideas.
I thought that Christie Sides was doomed from the beginning.
However, right from the beginning, things didn't unfold as expected. The team had trouble finding their pace under Sides, and losses began to add up quickly. With each game, the atmosphere grew more tense as Sides tried to discover a winning strategy that just wasn't coming together. It became apparent that the Fever weren't clicking as everyone had hoped, and the season turned into a tough slog with only a few moments of brightness.
6.
As the season progressed, both fans and analysts started to wonder if Sides was truly the right person for the job. The excitement that came with her hiring began to wane, replaced by feelings of doubt and frustration. The Fever, which everyone envisioned to be on the rise, appeared to be stuck in a difficult situation. The hope that Sides would soon turn things around was starting to feel like a fading dream.
Here we go.
Caitlin Clark stepped onto the scene as a talent like no other, captivating everyone with her remarkable skills. When she became a part of the Fever, fans and players alike felt that she could be the key to unlocking the team's potential and ending their rough patch. Her exceptional talent, infectious energy, and sharp basketball mind made an instant impression. Many viewed her as the face of the Fever's promising future. a player capable of reigniting the team's spirit and excitement.
Well, Drea, you don't have to wait any longer. The pick is in. Time to get things back to the podium. Here is the commissioner, Kathy Engelbert.
With the first pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, the Indiana Fever select Caitlin Clark, University of Iowa.
However, for Clark, who relies heavily on team chemistry and momentum, starting her professional career proved to be quite tough. She landed in a situation where the team chemistry wasn't there, playing under a coach who seemed unable to maximize her abilities. Despite pouring her heart into each game, the Fever continued to struggle, and it became clear that her skills were not being utilized to their fullest.
Goes back to Allen. Nice look from Clark, and Wallace can't finish the lay. They look for one another. Here's Clark shoveling. Boston waits. Can't finish. Three defender. Clark bounces ahead. Oh, what a pass! Mitchell unable to finish. 3 seconds left in the half. The flick ahead from Clark, and again, Kelsey Mitchell just having trouble catching the ball.
As time went on, it was becoming obvious that there wasn't a strong connection between Clark and Coach Sides. Her frustration was evident during games, and her once vibrant energy seemed to wane after each matchup.
Lots of basketball to be played here, but just a little bit of hesitation. Fever make them pay.
Clark bounces inside, a little too far for Boston.
While she was still racking up impressive numbers and making her mark, something crucial was missing. The vital rapport between coach and player just wasn't in place, leaving fans to wonder about the potential magic that could happen if Clark had a coach who truly understood her talents. Team chemistry is vital for any winning squad, and for the Fever, it had turned into a pressing concern. The disconnect between Coach Sides and her players wasn't just apparent during games, it permeated every element of the team's performance. Without a solid foundation of trust and understanding, even the most gifted athletes can falter on the court.
Obviously got me pretty good in the eye. I don't think it affected me, honestly. I felt like I got good shots, they just didn't go down. And obviously a tough time for that to happen. I got some really good looks. I felt I had three wide open threes in the first half that like you usually make. So that's tough, but I felt like I battled and tried my best. Took care of the ball.
For the Fever, this lack of synergy influenced everything from tactical decisions to team morale. Players struggled to establish a cohesive rhythm, causing their style of play to become disorganized. Caitlin Clark, who was anticipated to spearhead the team's efforts, found it challenging to engage with her teammates within a framework that didn't utilize her strengths. The strategies felt ill-fitting, and frustration began to mount as the season progressed.
For Indiana, they counted it on the floor. They'll go and check, but the bottom line is Indiana with 110 points has won their 20th game of the season, and they have clinched the 6th seed in the 2024 WNBA playoffs.
Gradually, it became evident that the coaching approach was not enabling the team to shine at its best. This realization hit hard for everyone involved, especially the fans who had pinned their hopes on a season of development and triumph. Rather than witnessing the team pulling together, they observed the emergence of flaws, with each game slipping away as another missed chance to forge something remarkable. With every game that passed, the tension within the Fever organization became more and more noticeable. Fans, media, and even some players started to question the team's situation and what the future held for Coach Sides. Rumors of player frustrations and disagreements in the locker room began to emerge, leading many to think that Sides' coaching style might be a big part of the issue.
Yeesh, guys. It's wild that a league would do this to the one person in their 20-plus years of existence who could actually pull them out of obscurity and into the spotlight. for the last decade, they've practically been begging for money at every turn.
I do feel like the pay gap would be something that, we could just...
Press conferences turned tense, filled with questions about the team's struggles and the potential for changes. The once encouraging atmosphere surrounding Sides' hiring had shifted to one filled with doubt. Even Caitlin Clark, who is usually quite composed, seemed less enthusiastic when talking about the team's strategies and direction. Her responses suggested frustrations that were difficult to overlook.
Well, I'm super excited to be here. I've never had to give an opening statement before, so this is a first for me. And a large crowd, but obviously Tamika Catchings is here. Like, that's pretty incredible. Somebody I grew up idolizing. Yes. Women's basketball in this state is pretty incredible. Grace knows that better than anybody else. Like, I hated playing.
Fans and analysts began to realize that a change was necessary. It was a sentiment shared by many voices, and unspoken truth lingering in the air. The signs were becoming unmistakable. It felt as though Christie Sides' reign as head coach faced its twilight. The chasm between what the team could achieve and what they were actually displaying on the court was far too glaring to dismiss. Everyone sensed that it was just a question of time before a pivotal choice would erupt from the management's deliberations.
Gotta be careful about overhelping. Clark, the hesitation, working inside the reverse. Owen took a big hit there on Jackie Young. And the foul does come, and for the second time here in the last minute, we have seen a heavy collision.
And then, at last, the awaited moment arrived, shaking the foundations of the team. The Indiana Fever made the significant announcement Christie Sides would no longer don the title of their head coach. This news surprised some, but it brought a sense of relief to many fans. For those supporters, it was a mix of feelings happy about the change, yet aware that the team still had many challenges ahead. With Sides leaving, it marked the end of a time that had not really met expectations. For Caitlin Clark, this change represented a fresh start. There was a feeling of new possibilities as the team prepared to rethink their strategy with a different coach. The front office quickly realized they needed to find a replacement, and rumors began to circulate about potential new names stepping into Sides' role.
I mean, I've been playing basketball for a year straight, so just some time to breathe. I'd probably be weird, like I probably will feel like a little bit uncomfortable, like not touching the basketball for like a week or so. But I know that's gonna be the healthiest thing for myself, and I think just relax, like turn my phone off, get away.
This change was more than just about finding a new coach. It signified a chance to head in a new direction, one that could finally give the Fever a real opportunity to succeed. The choice was bold, but for a team eager to achieve, it was a necessary step. Now, everyone was asking, who would lead the Fever into a more hopeful future? When the Fever announced their search for a new coach, one name swiftly emerged as the frontrunner, Stephanie White. With her rich history with the Fever as both a player and a coach, White was a well-recognized face, synonymous with the team's legacy. Her deep understanding of Indiana basketball and the Fever's culture positioned her as a leading candidate who could navigate the challenges ahead.
When I'm, looking at all these things that people are talking about with Caitlin Clark, it's like, guys, chill out. Like, she's gonna be fine. Like, it's 2 games in, are you kidding me? She's a student of the game, she got better every year. You're not going to just absorb all of the new information that's coming at you in 2 games, in 2 weeks.
White's credentials went beyond mere familiarity. Her impressive track record in coaching gave her the respect of players and fans alike. She brought the much-needed qualities of stability and vision to a team in search of direction. Her return seemed destined, bridging the team's storied past with the promise of a bright future. The fans responded positively to the prospect of her returning to the sidelines, viewing it as a significant opportunity for change in the Fever organization. White's unique ability to inspire and unite players was precisely what the team lacked. With Caitlin Clark on the roster, the potential pairing of White and Clark at the helm fueled excitement and hope among supporters like never before. Caitlin Clark played a huge role in the team's dynamics, and her thoughts on the new coach were very important. As a standout player and the franchise's key figure, she required a coach who could recognize her special skills and help her improve even further. The Fevers management recognized this necessity, and they were committed to making sure Clark was comfortable with the choice they made. Clark's input during the coaching search brought an exciting twist. She was known for being direct about what she needed for her success. The team was not just hiring a coach, they were selecting a person who would guide Clark and possibly influence her future. Fans were curious to see if White would connect well with her and help her shine on the court.
As the two teams are swapping opportunities to practice on the court, the first person that Caitlin Clark spoke to was Stephanie White. Now, Stephanie White has covered Caitlin's games as a part of the broadcast for Big Ten and was very complimentary of Caitlin Clark. So again, if Christie Sides maybe wasn't the right fit, if this indeed is a move to activate and get more from Caitlin.
Taking on the coaching role was a big challenge, and it was essential for White to rise to the occasion. Understanding Clark's potential and knowing how to make the most of it was vital for the Fever's future success. As the team stood at a pivotal moment, it was clear that Clark's influence would play a major role in this new chapter. The Indiana Fever's choice to move on from Christie Sides signals an exciting new chapter for the team. With Caitlin Clark's incredible skill on full display, and the possibility of Stephanie White stepping in as the head coach, fans have every reason to get excited. This is a fresh start that offers the Fever a chance to rebuild and compete at the highest level possible.
Clark has space, she's going to let it fly, and she's going to connect! Oh, Caitlin!
As we look ahead to what's next, the Fever's new direction highlights that change can often be the key to achieving greatness in sports. Will this be the moment the Fever have been waiting for? Only time will reveal the answer. In the meantime, we'll be closely watching to see if Caitlin Clark and the Fever can rise to the occasion and bring a championship back to Indiana.
This group, I told them in there, it's like, it's been a privilege to coach them. You know, that I am so thankful that I get to ride with them because they're resilient, like they're tough-minded. They remind me of those teams in Indiana. Just, you know, you look on paper and you might not think that.
Thanks for being part of our community. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss any updates on the Fever and the exhilarating season that lies ahead.